Some people say they hate to tell you, I told you so. Not me. I told you so. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you are having a wonderful day. And why would you not be, as we finally got to taste victory last night over a decent Valencia team, as of course, Scarpa shined. And guys, do you believe me now?
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Do you believe that he is the real deal? Look, some of you are still going to say, I'm going over the top. Some of you are going to be like, it was 25 minutes, man. Calm down.
Hey, no. Calm down. What's going on here?
It was a friendly. No, I won't. This guy is so good and so classy and so ready to be chucked straight into the team, in my opinion, come the opening and registration in January. He changed the game. Look, the game itself, as good a mood as I am in today off the back of that match, honestly, and Ant covers it nicely in the Grumpy Old Reds. Episode 3 is now available, where we do cover in full detail the Valencia match, as well as a look ahead to the Blackburn Cup match next Wednesday. But the game changed on Scarpa. It really did. That first half was quite boring, monotonous, and the same old that we've been seeing over the past 3 friendlies or so. But Scarpa comes on and he just brings an energy and an enthusiasm, skill, and ability. What an assist he got. And yes, I am giving him that assist to Dennis with that flicked ball round the corner, nicely into Dennis's path. Look, had he played it straight into Dennis's path, he knew that Dennis would have probably messed it up. So he had to play it off the defender and knows that Dennis would have cut onto it. It's just the sheer genius of the match. The man, even, you just can't beat it. His crosses have whip on them. They got pace on them. They got curvature on them. His corners weren't his greatest set of corners yesterday, but you can still see what he has to offer. Long range shooting, we saw that in abundance yesterday, testing the keeper out with a lovely 25-yard curling effort into the far corner that had the keeper stretching out. This guy is bringing so much to this team, and we have yet to even see 10% of the best of him, and I can't wait for him to be unleashed. Will he be unleashed at Manchester United? No, I remind you guys that he can't be, because he cannot be registered officially with the league until January. But please don't forget, the Man U Forest match will be on the 27th of December. If you want to watch it for free, go hit the link down below and it will take you to my Amazon link that will give you a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Within that, you'll get Prime Video, and within that, you'll also get Amazon Prime for free for 30 days, which will give you the Forest match as well as all the Boxing Day matches for you to watch. On top of that, if you got some late Christmas gifts that you need to get bought and sold, go use Amazon Prime with that. You just can't go wrong with it, with the next day delivery services and so on. Anyway, let's get back onto the game. Look, it wasn't just Scarpa that was shining. It's what he did to those players around him. Dennis came alive. Jono looked so much better in that second half than he did when he came on for what looks like an injured Morgan Gibbs-White. Look, there's been no official details about Morgan Gibbs-White, but he was limping off with an injury to his left knee. They took him off quite early, so I hope that they caught the injury before it was anything too serious. So MG Dub, you're still my boy. I still love you. I know I've got this new shiny toy to play with, but I haven't forgotten about you. Just because I have a new Ferrari doesn't mean I'm going to forget about the Lamborghini in the garage. Anyway, hopefully Morgan Gibbs-White is okay and will be fit for the Blackburn game. I assume off the back of that, he'll probably be rested and probably show up next in the Manchester United game. Very quickly on injuries, as we mentioned to you the other day, Cheick Kouyaté is out for 2 to 3 months. This was confirmed by the club as well. So just for those of you who missed it when we brought it to you last week. Look, back to Scarpina, the way that he brought players in allowed them to have the confidence. And this is the key thing that he's going to bring to us, the confidence to make those runs, because they are confident more times than not. He is going to find them with those balls. And even if they're not free, he can run with the ball. He can take those long range shots as we saw yesterday. All in all, he is the complete package. And is he our savior for this season? I think yes. Like, regardless of what you think of Cooper, Cooper in, Cooper out, Cooper is tactically inept, tactically brilliant, whatever. When you have a player like Scarpa, as long as you unleash him, that is going to save you. It really is. He is going to have the impact that we saw Bruno Guimaraes have last season on Newcastle. He's going to have a much, much bigger impact. Am I getting ahead of myself? I don't care. Look, abuse me in the comments if you want about it. But if you haven't seen it, go and watch what he did against Valencia last night. There is still the ugly side to what we saw yesterday, and most of that was in the first half. And most of that comes with the selection and the, I almost want to use the word stupidity of still using Steve Cook. Stupidity, probably too strong a word, but let me know in the comments down below what word I should be using, because I don't understand the point of it. Look, Cook didn't do anything out of the ordinary bad yesterday, but the point is he is not Prem League standard. No pace in him. And then when you go and see Bardet being played as a CDM, and then he goes down the wing and makes a run and completely outpaces the Valencia right back. And you're there with your jaw dropping, thinking, we have been screaming out for months about a lack of pace in the defense. I've been screaming out about how quick Bardet is, and it's been ignored. And you see him outpacing wingers, and you just think, why has he not been given a chance? Look, he is definitely a gunner in January. And I thought he was all right yesterday on the pitch. Out of position again. Not once in these friendlies has he been played as a centre-back. He's either been shoved at right back or he's been shoved as a CDM. And I just don't get the logic. There's a couple of things that I did not understand yesterday. Why was Tuffalo playing at right back? It didn't make any sense. If he really wanted Tuffalo to get some minutes under his belt, maybe half for Lodi, a half for Tuffalo at left back. But playing players out of position isn't as simple or as straightforward as it sounds, because there's a huge difference between playing at left back or at right back. Yes, I know Nico Williams can switch between the two, but it causes a difference in the attack, because with Tuffalo, he's very heavy left-footed. So he can't really cross with his right peg. He's always going to have to cut back and invert in for a cross when playing on the right-hand side, which causes different tactics to be required up in the top half of the pitch. So I don't understand the actual benefit of Tuffalo being on the right-hand side. You could have, like he's done before, shoved Mbasso at right back, which I think he did in the second half, or even Bidet could have been chucked out there if he is surplus to requirements. The question is, where were Aurier and Nico Williams? Nico Williams has been training with the squad. Are they still protecting him over the concussion from the World Cup? I'd be very surprised if it's gone on for that long. And with Aurier, I'm not exactly sure what's happened. We knew he was ill during the Stoke match, but we saw him in the Olympiacos match. And I don't know if he's picked up another knock, because it's the whole secret squirrel society with Nottingham Forest when it comes to injuries, which is extremely, extremely frustrating. The centre-backs have been split. We saw the combo of Bolly and Worrell pre the World Cup, yet they were not played together yesterday. In the first half, we had Worrell and Cook. In the second half, we had McKenna and Bolly. Now, my actual preferred option is that McKenna and Bolly combo. Let me know down below, which of the two centre-backs would you play together from the ones we have available for either the Blackburn or the Manchester United match. But I'm just going back to logic now and thinking to myself, if Bolly and Worrell had kept clean sheets like they did against Spurs and they did against Crystal Palace, what is Cooper's thinking behind splitting that pairing and then pairing them up with different players? Again, is something I don't understand, even though I agree with the second half choice of the centre-backs. But it's getting a bit baffling. There's still far too much experimentation going on with this team in these late stages of the friendly matches. I really did expect yesterday to see our starting 11, or at least, a squad of the 15 that were definitely going to start. And that's where I was getting confused when you were seeing Bidet coming in CDM, when you're seeing Owoni used out on the wing yet again. I don't understand the philosophy of this false nine that he keeps trying to play, and then literally playing a person who's a striker who I keep saying is Bambi on ice when it comes to trying to run with the ball. We are not playing to his strengths. His strengths are the ball in behind, him chasing onto it, him finishing with his shin. I mean, yesterday, look at his finish, ball into him, goes round the keeper and hits it with his actual foot. Doesn't need any shin. So clearly he's growing in a bit of confidence. But then why is Cooper suppressing him by playing him as a winger? It's beyond baffling sometimes when you look at it. There is nothing about Owoni that screams to me about him being a winger. And you can understand in a way the false nine being used like a Morgan Gibbs-White or a Jesse Lingard or whatever, but playing a striker out on the right wing, he may as well have put Worrell there. It just wouldn't have made that much of a difference. I don't understand it. The big, huge plus points for me, obviously apart from Scarpina, are Mangala and O'Brien. Mangala was brilliant all over the pitch for me, always open to receive the ball, can take the ball on the half turn, progress it forward. Then you had O'Brien. Look, I know he was at fault in some way for the goal, but I don't really care because he was progressing forward with the ball. He was everywhere. If you look at where he lost the ball and where he ended up when they scored, that is a player who tracks back, who will put the miles in and put the effort in regardless of what the situation is. He doesn't put his head in his hands. He gets on with it and he reacts. And he was everywhere yesterday. When he was required defensively, he was there. When we were attacking, he was trying to make overlapping runs, getting into the box, making himself open. But more importantly, I specifically was watching Mangala and O'Brien yesterday because I wanted to see how they interacted. Was that chemistry still there between them? And what you find with them is they are busy. They don't keep still. When the ball went out, for example, to Lodi on the left-hand side, you see Mangala drop in to make himself available. O'Brien pull away into another bit of space looking for the second pass of it. Then when it comes into Mangala, O'Brien drops in, opens up some space for Mangala to move forward in. It's very, very nice to see. Those are the patterns of play that I spoke about in yesterday's video, or was it the day before's video, that you want to see from players and understanding and chemistry. But it's still hard to fit these players into the team because we are overloaded with quality in that central midfield area. Mangala with O'Brien, with Yates, with Freuler, and obviously Coyote once he's back and fit. That's already 5. In a system where we are playing 3, who the hell do you select as the 3? Something I mentioned on stream yesterday was having an away and a home team, so to speak. So away from home, I quite like the idea of Yates, Mangala, and O'Brien as destroyers, as people who will play box to box, as busy players. I think that would work really well away from home. But at home, you kind of want to see the flair and the composure and the conductivity skills of Freuler. But how does that work in reality? Well, time will tell and we'll see what Cooper wants to go with. But I was really impressed with those 2 players last night. What really impressed me more was when we look at the shape of the team in the second half. As I mentioned, Bidet was pushed into CDM. I thought he actually did all right. I think he was alongside O'Brien at the time. And then finally we brought on a striker in Surridge and we played Scarpa in behind, Jono out on the right, Dennis on the left in that 4-2-3-1 that this team has been crying out for. It just balances the team so much better when you see it. Scarpa pulling the strings was amazing. Dennis came to life yesterday. I've been banging on about what a great player he is and how underused he's been this season so far. And he is not a striker. He's not even a right winger, in my opinion. He's a left winger. It was evident in the goal he scored, the way he made that inverted run in towards goal. Scarpina finds him and he's able to calmly finish it into the back of the net. That's what we want to see more of from Dennis. When there's space to operate in the opponent's half, when that backline is pushed up, Dennis can be completely lethal in those attacks. Exactly the scenario we saw yesterday, and that really did please me. Even Jono was looking more like his usual self, even with runs in behind down the right-hand side. It was fantastic to see, all caused by Scarpina being at the heartbeat of that attack. All right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves based on an amazing 20 minutes or so performance by Forest. We're not going to win the league off that performance. We're definitely going to finish top 4. With that kind of performance, though, it was really good and refreshing to see. And maybe there are signs that things are clicking. But let's not flower it up. It was all based around Scarpina, and Stevie Coops, if you're listening, don't waste time getting him in, because there were some comments that you said after the match that made my asshole pucker up tight like a little snare drum when you were talking about his fitness is still not there. And that really concerns me, because technically speaking, he should be the fittest person in that squad, having just come off the back of a full season in the Brazilian league with Palmeiras. So how can he be not up to fitness when we've had players who haven't had match time for 4 or 5 weeks now? That does worry me and concern me. He's put him on his own special program. There were some things that he said that I do agree with. He's been all over the world already, spent maybe 5 minutes in Nottingham, and those 5 minutes were spent skateboarding in the city centre. God only knows if he's even locked himself down a house yet. I'm sure he has a team of people working on that for him, but he does need time to settle down and get used to the Nottingham culture coming over from Brazil. But he has that time to do it over the next couple of weeks while he can't play for Nottingham Forest. But again, Cooper, I can't underline, you have been given this free gift, this gem, this get out of jail card. Do not hesitate to use it and abuse it and unleash it on the Premier League, because they are not ready for him. Guys, we'll wrap the video up there. Please, if you want a full hour and a half's worth of breakdown of the game, go check out the podcast. The link is in the description below. Click on that and click on the Grumpy Old Men tab within the link tree there, and it will take you, well, it'll give you the option for what platform you would like to listen to it on. On top of that, don't forget to go and click on the link. The link is in that tree as well for the Forest Man U game on Amazon Prime. You can get that for free. If you've used the free trial before, just register with a new email address, and that will give you another 30 days as well, completely free of charge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, or if you're excited about Scarpina and what he's going to unleash on the Premier League. We'll be back on the next video, and come on, you Reds.